stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies in our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. Kielbasa Smoked Meats, slow crafted in Texas since 1949.
I'm Joel, co-founder of the company behind Super Beets. I know what you're thinking. This guy must really love beets. Well, I'd like to say yes. The truth is that when I asked our team of scientists and dietitians to find the best superfoods for promoting heart-healthy energy and supporting healthy blood pressure, they led me to beets. But we didn't stop there. I'm excited to share with you our newest product, Super Beets Heart Chews, which includes clinically researched grapeseed extract, shown to be 2 times as effective at supporting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. Our team is committed to supporting your healthy lifestyle with products like Super Beets Heart Chews. Science-backed, plant-based, and better for you.
Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Chews, plus a free 30-day supply of Super Grapes with your first purchase when you shop at getsuperbeets.com/sky. That's getsuperbeets.com/sky.
KZDC San Antonio.
This is Archie Manning, 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM. Where the pros play. Down for the count with Brandon Medina and Dan Cialana.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, ESPN San Antonio proudly brings to you the best show in the world. This is Down for the Count. I'm your man, Brandon Big Poppy Medina. That is my tag team partner, the one, the only, Mr. Dangerous Dan Cialana, as well as our good buddy James Pledger running things in the gorilla position. How are we doing, my man?
Doing good. And by the way, on Facebook, Pledger, speaking of James Pledger, producer John Dyer wants to know, Pledger, what is your all-time favorite wrestler, Pledger?
Pledger said,
well, I grew up a Hulkamaniac fan and a Taker fan. And then when things got more evolved, I became a Stone Cold and Rock fan in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Ah, look at you.
I will say, Dan, did you take offense to that as James just said, as things got more evolved, right? As if 80s wrestling was very minuscule.
So my era, the wrestling that I fell in love with,
right?
James Pledger thinks is that's
trash.
James Pledger
That's
is
what I heard.
Too foo-foo. He's the nicest dressed man at ESPN San Antonio. Admittedly, a low bar, but I think last week. Here's what happened. Last week we talked to what Pledger. Pledger, you gotta talk here. You don't.
It is a low bar. It's a very low bar.
It is.
It is a very low bar. Oh my God.
I think what it is he saw.
I'm sorry, my mind is mush. I'm not drunk yet, but I'm getting there. Who did we interview last week from the Hurt Business? Bobby Lashley.
It was Bobby Lashley. Yep.
Bobby Lashley. I'm so sorry. How offensive. But so we interviewed Bobby Lashley. We asked him for some tips on upping our clothing game so we can be like the Hurt Business. And Bobby Lashley gave a bunch of tips. And one of the tips he says, you got to do the pocket square. And James Pledger must have been taking notes because the next day, did I imagine that? You were on Instagram with the pocket square.
Oh, yeah, I had it.
Now, did you do it because of the inspiration of Bobby Lashley, or were you already ready for that stuff? Are you ready to join the Hurt Business, James Pledger?
I am ready.
He's ready.
I've got all kinds of pocket squares. I am ready to go. Just stick it in there and just kind of
stick it in there. Just stick it in there.
Get the tie to match it up. Have it hanging nice.
Yep, have it hanging nice and stick it right in there. I appreciate that right there,
James Pledger.
That's what I'm talking about.
What a great week, though, of wrestling, Brandon.
Yeah, we have a huge show. We have a huge show, Dan. This is going to be an exciting week. You had a beach break, little breakdown, if you will, with our buddy Mike Mayer, who's going to be on the show today as well later on. And then we have a friend of the show, Miss Denise Salcedo, jumping back on a talk with us after we made our Royal Rumble picks. That's going to be an exciting conversation.
And we were all wrong, I think.
Yes. Now, we got close there. However, her pick, which we're not going to disclose yet, but her pick is starting to get pushed pretty quickly post Royal Rumble. If you don't mind me saying, Dan.
I think so. Yeah, I think the person that Denise picked, and we'll ask her about that. We'll confront her about that if she still stands by that's the person who should have won. But this person was featured on Monday Night Raw, And I think this person will do very well. So stay tuned for that. But man, there's so much wrestling going on, Brandon. I mean, it's 2021. We're all looking for something to do. We're all trying to get over our trauma from last year. So you can just totally immerse yourself in pro wrestling. If you have an addiction to coffee, cigarettes, or anything worse, like, you need to not stop having addictions, because humans need addictions. We need something to compulsively, take care of. Watch wrestling. There's hours of wrestling. You can just discount everybody in your family. You can just ignore your parents and your friends and just immerse yourself in this beautiful world of pro wrestling.
Yeah, truly. I mean, it's something for everybody. If you enjoy music, we had Bad Bunny. We had him on Raw. We had him on Royal Rumble. Okay. If you enjoy
Bunny.
theater, wait. First off, hold on. Wait, don't disrespect Bad Bunny just
question
yet.
Here. Bad Bunny. Okay, and I admit this is an old guy question.
100% always.
This is a dad question.
Most times this is an old guy question, right? Yeah. Okay.
40 years old. Okay, and you're gonna make fun of me. Go ahead. And I'm being absolutely serious. So Bad Bunny was at Royal Rumble. Is Bad Bunny popular?
So there's obviously, as you know, Dan, Latino music, Latino trends have been moving pretty quickly. So Bad Bunny, I'm looking at it right now because I wanted to bring this up as well. Bad Bunny on Spotify, which most people use. Wouldn't you agree, Dan? Spotify.
Even I use it. Even me.
He is the 9th most streamed artist in the world, just so we're clear. So not bad. Not top 5. Usually you got to be top 5 to be on the show. So that's clearly a reason why we haven't had him yet. But top 10's not too bad. Now we are the number 1 wrestling show. So you got to make your way up a little bit. But
top 3,
Bad Bunny is
top 3.
Extremely popular, especially with the Latino markets and as well with the youngsters, Dan, like my age group and younger. So I definitely think it was a big deal. And they're really starting to kind of incorporate this more, almost like that early 2000s, 90s feels with Drew Carey and stuff, where these popular people are becoming mainstay figures on wrestling. You look at Bad Bunny, you look at our buddy, the punter. What is his name? I love it. What is his name?
James Pledger's football hero?
Yes, James Pledger's football hero, Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. I'm sorry. I don't even know who
one of the greatest podcasts going.
Pat McAfee? Dan really just said Gronk.
I'm just like Gronk. I'm just naming people I've heard of.
Gronk was the 24/7 champion.
You know when Seth Rollins tweets, "I hate football." Those are my favorite tweets ever. I hate football.
Okay, fair enough. But
got a job at ESPN San Antonio.
Nonetheless, Bad Bunny.
Dan.
Nonetheless, Bad Bunny is huge, Dan. Now, you know what else is huge that I want to talk about real quick, Dan? Come on now. Listen.
OnlyFans.
You're not going to believe this. I saw a statistic, I believe. Did you see that Superstar Showdown, whatever that India specific show was? Were you able to watch that? It was like early in the morning.
Like a couple weeks back. That.
Okay. I heard there was 20 million viewers on watching that on the network throughout. Now I don't know how that comes about. I didn't even know there was 20 million people on the network. I have no idea, but I heard it was extremely popular in India. So possibly, Dan, another Jinder Mahal push might be in the books.
That's
your favorite person.
For. I like Jinder Mahal. I think he's cool. I love it when he won the championship a few years ago. It was a shocker. I wish they had done more with Jinder Mahal as the world champion. And I think Jinder Mahal is an example of how the brand split really hurts champions, because back in the day when there was just one champion, like there was one guy, there was one person who was just like, you are the guy. But when there's the brand split, it's like, well, if you're not too hot about one of the champions, you can just kind of just let them slide. So I'm old school. I think there should be one champion. Nonetheless, Jinder Mahal and the Indian fans and the Indian wrestlers, I'm sure it's going to be a great new opportunity. I didn't get a chance to finish that show, but I want to watch it. And India is a huge wrestling market. And there's actually kind of an offensive sort of stereotype in the wrestling internet community about Indian fans, this idea that Indian fans don't know that wrestling is entertainment.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's true. I think that's just like a rude stereotype.
I don't think so either.
And we
but
do
I
sports
also
radio,
feel
not conservative radio, so we don't do racist stereotypes.
No, not at all. However,
go down the hall for that stuff.
Yeah. However, sexual innuendos, check mark. That's all us. We definitely take care of that. But when you look at the Indian-born wrestlers, Dan, I feel like we're constantly chasing this great Khali type of character all the time, and I don't understand. I understand
it's not that hard to chase the great Khali. He can't really.
No, I know, but that stereotype of just I don't know this, and I don't mean to sound stereotypical, but I didn't know just 7'3" people were just born all the time, because I feel like WWE finds these 7 foot something athletes, and they're always either Indian or Latin American or whatever the case. And I feel like when it comes to wrestling, we don't really focus on as much as it was in the 80s when you were watching, Dan, on the big type of guys. Now you're seeing guys of all shapes and sizes. So I'm curious to see what they do after this show, especially with that Indian market breakdown where they had that many viewership. But being that it's a big week of wrestling, we just left off on a huge pay-per-view, Dan, which I know we're going to talk about most of the show. Edge, the rated R superstar, Dan, is going to WrestleMania, as well as our girl Bianca Belair. How excited were you for this, and did they get it right?
And maybe I'm kind of an emotional guy anyway, but I cried after Bianca Belair won the Royal Rumble. Not right when she won, but when she was giving this speech. And I've always... What? You making fun of me? Yes, I cried.
It sounds like.
I cried. I wept. There was snot all over my face. It was a beautiful moment because I'm a secure man.
Yes.
That's okay. Toxic masculinity man here. Anyway. Okay, so I cried, and I haven't had the chance to watch that documentary about Bianca Belair that WWE Network put out. I hear it's pretty good, but I was really happy for her. I've been big on Bianca Belair for a long time. I'm on record of saying that she's going to be in the main event of Royal Rumble. We had Charlotte Flair on here 2 years ago saying that Bianca Belair would be a star. So these predictions have come true, and I think she totally deserves it, and it's just great to see. It's just absolutely great. She's such a great role model in terms of just her presence and, just having these difficulties. In this documentary, they talk about how so beautiful. We gotta
get out of here.
I'm emotional here. We'll talk more
Royal Rumble
next in Bianca Belair, and I will cry even more on the air. This is Down for the Count.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. Jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings, now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Gary is refinancing his home, so he shopped around for the lowest rate and found it at Amerisave.com, setting him up for a lifetime of savings. It's one decision he'll never regret, unlike taking that gig in the testing lab at the deodorant company.
Raise your arm, please. Oh, man, I hate this job.
Pretty regrettable, Gary. Unlike finding that low mortgage rate at Amerisave.com that's got you on your way to a lifetime of savings. Amerisave's rates won't be this low forever, so go to Amerisave.com now. Lower mortgage rates mean higher savings. Call 866-514-SAVE or visit Amerisave.com/licensing for cost information, terms and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all states except New York. NMLS number 1168.
In the early hours after the tsunami, it was ham radio that was on the air, saving lives. When Florida was ripped by hurricane, the hams were there. In the critical moments after the attack of 9/11, 9/11. It was the hams who coordinated emergency messages. When disasters strike, the hams are ready. Ham radio works when other communications don't. To learn how you can become a ham radio operator, call the ARRL, the National Association for Amateur Radio, at 1-800-326-3942.
When you read to your young children, you're helping them learn new words.
Which book do you want your daddy to read to you? Moon! Good night, Moon.
And since it's during their first 3 years that they learn the most, it's very important that you start reading to them today.
In a big green room, there's a picture of a cow jumping over the moon.
For you, it's a pleasant moment. For them, it's a better future.
And the cow jumped over the moon!
You and your loving care can be their best teachers. Message brought to you by El Valor and the Ad Council.
I won. I've been telling everybody that I'm the strongest and I'm the fastest. I'm the roughest, I'm the toughest, I'm the quickest, the greatest, I'm the best. But tonight, I showed everybody. And after everything, I won the Women's Royal Rumble. All I can say is, Mama and Daddy, my husband Tess, I did it. Now I'm gonna put ESPN in WrestleMania.
What a beautiful moment. Bianca Belair winning the Women's Royal Rumble.
This music is so hard for the Bianca Belair celebration.
Hey, you know what? We got to change. We got to go intense here because we got to bring up the energy. We got to get hyped because right now we're going to talk to Denise Salcedo from InstinctCulture.com. What's up, Denise?
What's up, guys? Great to be back here once again. How are you all?
Oh my gosh,
Doing great.
so well.
I got to be careful because I got to say it very slowly. InstinctCulture.com, because the last time we had you on, it sounded like I was saying instant culture, like it's coffee. Instinct Culture.
I didn't even notice that you said instant, so it's okay.
That's okay. I'm very forgettable. So did you not did you cry, Denise, when Bianca Belair won the Women's Royal Rumble, but how hard did you cry? I saw your reaction video. Did you get weepy? Did you have to turn off the camera?
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't cry. I'm not much of like a crier like with moments, but I will say this. I was like, yeah, total opposite of being a crier.
I'm an adult. I can handle myself, Dan.
Exactly. But I was completely and like I was shocked, to be honest. I wasn't expecting Rhea Ripley or Bianca to be the final two. I mean, I wanted it right from the start, but I didn't necessarily expecting it. And wanting something and expecting something is two totally different things. So I was just shocked with that in the first place. And I didn't know which direction they were going to go. It's like, are they going to pull the plug with Bianca? Are they going to continue Rhea's momentum? What is going to happen? And so when Bianca won, I mean, it was probably one of my favorite Royal Rumble moments in history.
Yeah, I think this Royal Rumble had a lot of memorable moments in general. But I do want to say, guys, did Alexa Bliss get the short end of the stick? I was very surprised.
You're making a short joke? She's only
no.
5'1".
I'm just saying. I felt very surprised to see her go out so quickly and not even get to do the full fiendish turn around. And I mean, I was a little. I thought she was going to be at least in the final four. And completely was taken blindsided when she got thrown out.
A lot of people thought she was going to win. Denise, who was I don't remember if we asked you about who you thought would win the women's. Who did you think was going to win the Women's Royal Rumble?
Rhea Ripley. Yeah,
okay,
100%. Rhea Ripley was my pick, like from the start. So I was like, oh my God, I'm actually going to be right on the Royal Rumble winner for like the first time in my entire life. But I'm with you on this one. I know a lot of people thought that there was a chance that Alexa Bliss was actually going to win. And when she really was barely in the Rumble, I do think it was the right call. She's being featured enough on Raw and she's kind of doing her own thing right now on a different path. So that's why I wouldn't necessarily say that she got the short end of the stick there.
We're making these short jokes. I'm feeling very bad because I'm a shorter person myself. I'm 5'6".
You're feeling attacked, right?
Okay, so with Alexa Bliss though, like it was funny. We thought we were going to see the Fiend turn and everything, but then they're like, "Nah, we ain't going to do it." It's kind of like a joke, you know. But
yeah,
I know a lot of people are disappointed that Alexa didn't win, but I really think she still has like a big kind of like spotlight on TV. She's on TV every week. That's absolutely awesome. But Denise Salcedo, I know you predicted on our show when we were talking to you that Damian Priest would win the men's Royal Rumble.
We kept the receipts. We kept the receipts.
And I think you were doubting it because I tweeted. Yeah, I tweeted
Yes.
your video out to kind of remind everyone. She's like, I don't want to
switch.
tweet it, but so he lost. Were you sad that Damian didn't win that thing?
All right, so no, I wasn't, because I said it was a long shot. Like right from the start, I was like, I would have liked it, but it was definitely a long shot. And I think he was more of my pick because I didn't really have anybody else that I necessarily felt passionate about. And so when Damian Priest won, I was very excited for him. I mean, excuse me, when Damian Priest was on, when he came out, I was very excited
Reality,
for him.
not your dreams, not your dreams.
Exactly. But when he came out on Raw afterwards, I thought that was such a great follow-up. And even at the Rumble, he had such a great showcase. I mean, he eliminated Kane, he eliminated a couple of people, and I thought that was pretty cool. So even though he did not win, I thought it was a great showcase for Damian Priest.
Now, what I will say is that's a solid call out because Damian Priest looks like he's getting pushed very heavily now, even with that first showing on Raw. So we might see a second year Royal Rumble winner. Is that what we're predicting? A year away already?
I can't predict a year in advance. No, not
Oh,
yet.
come on,
I can't.
Denise.
I can't. No, I can't. It would be too, no, anything can happen and things can change like so fast. It would be crazy.
Well, just imagine, guys. Imagine just put yourself in your mind. Imagine it's November 2019, and then someone from the future, someone from February of 2021, visits you from the future and says, "Hey, do you know who's going to headline WrestleMania 2021? Edge." Like Edge. He's retired. He's going to die. Oh, how's he headlining WrestleMania? Because he won the Royal Rumble in front of the Thunderdome. What the hell is the Thunderdome? Like, this year just makes no sense. The idea, it was so surreal seeing Edge win the Royal Rumble in front of a digital screen. This would have made no sense 2 years ago, but I'm here for it. Because if we need a digital screen to still have wrestling and still have a crowd and that excitement during the pandemic, that's cool. And if Edge is healthy, if he truly is healthy, and I want to believe that WWE is being very cautious, and I'm glad to see it. But I want to ask you guys about NXT on Wednesday night, because Edge showed up on NXT and kind of made some kind of hints that maybe he might challenge for the NXT championship because, hey, I won the Royal Rumble, so I can take any championship match. Maybe that means he can go for the women's Raw, championship. Maybe he'll go for the 24/7. No, he's not going to go through any of that. But, would it be a waste, though, for Edge to actually choose to go after the NXT championship? His reasoning being, hey, this is one belt that I never had. Denise, what do you think?
I don't think so, because I thought the fact that he was on NXT and, that he was, part of the Finn Balor, Pete Dunne stare down where, they're staring at each other and he's sort of in the background, eyeing the both of them. I thought that was such a cool moment. And if anything, I think that it helps elevate the NXT championship that much more. I'm not saying he has to win. I'm just saying that, even the fact that he has that interest in pursuing the championship at NXT, I do think that it adds to the belt. It really does. It makes it, more on par with the WWE belt and the Universal one.
Yeah, I think for me, Dan, honestly, if you put this on paper, right? If we think about this not just as wrestling fans, but as journalists of wrestling, right? When you put this on paper, Finn Balor's on a very short list of people that have beaten Brock Lesnar, and he was the first Universal Champion. So he kind of put this whole thing into effect. I do think Rhea Ripley has proven that she could go toe-to-toe with Charlotte last year for the NXT Championship. That has now proven to be helpful when Rhea Ripley's now in the top two in the Royal Rumble, the last two, and now she's looking to probably get catapulted into the women's division as a main player. I think the NXT belt is a legitimate belt. It's not a developmental program. It's on TV. We've talked about this at times, and I say at times, and I mean most times, it has a better show than the main roster. So I do think Finn Balor's a legitimate opponent. I think Pete Dunne's a legitimate opponent. And I think Edge is a legitimate challenger and somebody that we would all love to root for. And it'd be a perfect dream scenario to see him and Finn Balor or him and Pete Dunne go at it if that's the way they want to go. However, I think Roman Reigns would be a great option. I think Drew would be a great option. I think either way they go with it, we're going to tune in because we love the sport.
Now, someone who may not be a legitimate competitor is Goldberg. We saw Goldberg face Drew McIntyre opening up the Royal Rumble with a championship match. Were you guys afraid that Goldberg, first Denise, were you afraid that Goldberg would win and defeat Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship and that you'd have to be one of those annoying WWE fans who says, I'm going to cancel my WWE network. Vince McMahon is out of touch. Did you think Goldberg had any chance in hell of defeating Drew McIntyre, Denise?
No, I think I knew right from the start what this was going to be. And I'm a Goldberg fan, so I knew for a fact that he was going to go in there. Yes,
You like his little booty shorts, the little 50-year-old man booty shorts?
And so I
They are
knew
booty
that he
shorts.
wasn't going to win, though. Like going into this, it wouldn't have made any sense whatsoever. And I do think that WWE has been doing well with Drew McIntyre's title reign, at least the best that they possibly can. And it has been showing, and things have been getting better and better. He's had more opponents now, so I am glad to see that. But I didn't think that Goldberg would be defeating Drew McIntyre.
Brandon, if Goldberg had won, would you have thrown your computer out the window?
I was scared as hell. Let me let you know. I was so nervous. I mean, the Twitter sphere was buzzing, right? Everybody was going crazy. I think me, you, and our buddy Mike Mayer over there in LA shared some texts, and we were like, there's no way this is going to happen, because we know that these matches usually take, 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And so we had a potluck going virtually with my buddies watching the show of like the over-under time on Goldberg's match. And I think for
30 seconds
me,
or 90 seconds?
Well, they did it right. I think they booked it right. I think Denise is correct. Goldberg has beaten The Fiend, right? He's beaten Brock Lesnar. He's a legitimate contender, whether we like it or not. And I think when you book Drew to go over a legend like that, and then the ending was perfectly booked where Goldberg shakes his hand, says, hey, passing the reins almost as like, you're the next guy in line. You're the guy in charge here. Drew McIntyre looks like a legitimate champion. He needs to look like a legitimate champion because he's gotten absolutely screwed over the past year of not being able to celebrate this stuff with fans and not being able to really be that champion that the fans really cheer for from a distance now at home. But I do think they booked this correctly. And I think Drew McIntyre, I pray and I hope he has a very long-lasting title run because the dude has everything. Dude's a star.
I love Drew McIntyre. We've had him on our show before. Great guy, nice guy. Hope to have him on many more times. And we only got a couple more minutes with Denise here. So Denise Salcedo from InstinctCulture.com. Say it real slow. Let the words breathe. If you had to pick any from the Royal Rumble matches, the non-actual like over-the-top rope, the other matches, what would be your favorite non-Rumble match from last Sunday's pay-per-view?
I would have to say it was definitely Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns. And even though the ending was a little funky, whatever, I just thought that, I mean, my goodness, Kevin Owens practically killed himself 1 million times in that match. But it was just such a good match. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was one of those things that this is one of the matches that I think in several years, people are still going to talk about. Still, people are going to be like, do you remember the time Roman Reigns ran over Kevin Owens with a golf cart? Do you remember the time that he threw that Kevin Owens did the swanton from the forklift? I mean, there is so much to remember just from that match. Even the fact that Paul Heyman couldn't get the right, couldn't untie him from unhandcuff him. Excuse me.
Well, the referee was like, got to 7, and the referee was like,
let me just stop.
I'm just gonna walk away. I mean,
I will say, Denise, let's be honest. Kevin Owens got hit way too damn hard with that golf cart. That was going way too fast.
I don't know. Even Sammy Guevara was like, damn.
It was perfect timing, I think. Like, it was so, like, it came out of nowhere. And I think what also helped, too, was the camera shot. Because in the camera shot, there was no hint that anything would be happening. Like, he was kind of just there. And then out of nowhere, the golf cart enters the camera
It's like an RKO,
shot.
except with a golf cart.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. Well, Denise, it always goes by so fast when we have you on. How can we find you online and all your beautiful wrestling journalism?
Yeah, seriously, guys, go check me out on youtube.com/Denise Salcedo. I have a lot of new stuff on there. You can watch my reaction to Bianca Belair winning the Women's Royal Rumble. You can check out some of my interviews with Peyton Rose, Peyton, and then also Matt Cardona. You can go ahead and check that out as well.
Denise Salcedo from InstinctCulture.com. Thanks for joining us tonight on ESPN San Antonio.
If your water tastes bad or has an odd smell, you need to call Alamo Water Softeners, because in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. When you call Alamo Water Softeners, they'll come to your home, give you a free estimate, and test your water. Right now, save $300 on select water care water softeners from Alamo Water Softeners, the best value for the highest quality water treatment. Go to alamowatersofteners.com and discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Your child deserves to be in the very best hands. The South Texas Early Childhood experts at the Brighton Center are some of the most capable hands of all, earning us the Nonprofit of the Year award. The team delivers the best childhood education, therapy, and support in the San Antonio area, catering to your child's specific needs. We prepare children for kindergarten and the rest of their lives, because children aren't our job, they're our passion. Brighton Center, the right help at the right time can change a life. Visit brightonsa.org to learn more.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. You know jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings. Now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
It's the 55th Annual Football Championship, and you can follow all the action at betonline.net. Tampa Bay meets Kansas City on Sunday, and you can bring the game home at betonline.net.
CureSearch.org. You're not as alone as you feel.
Just done it! Wait a minute! Out of nowhere! An RKO by Orton! Orton's back in the match! Orton was never eliminated! Randy Orton! Edge dumps Orton! Edge wins! Edge wins! Edge going to WrestleMania! Here is your winner! The Rated R Superstar! Edge wins his second Royal Rumble, 11 years to the day from his first victory.
Welcome one, welcome all. This is Down for the Count. I'm your man, Brandon Big Poppy Medina. That is the dangerous Dan Cialano. We got our buddy James Pledger running things in the gorilla position. And we have 1/3 of the clique, it seems, here on ESPN San Antonio. Mr. Mike Mayer, we are all back together as always. I got Razor Ramon on there because I feel like if this is the NWO, I need to be the Razor Ramon here. Come on. I feel like
together.
I feel like if we're getting the band back together, I'm not taking Razor. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But as always, we got our buddy Mike. What's going on, brother? How are things in beautiful sunny California?
They've actually, it's been surprisingly cold out here. I know it's February, but it's just like, hey, the weather, like anytime anything gets under like 60 out here, everybody freaks out. So it's just like
the place it rains.
I lived on the East Coast, so I tell people, hey, if you're mad about like a little bit of weather underneath 60, you need to realize it. I've dealt with snowy weather when I lived in the East Coast in DC. So it's just like, and you guys probably are familiar at least with some cold weather.
Yeah, fair enough. Me and Dan, a little cold-hearted more than the cold weather. A little
bit.
But
it
is stone cold. Exactly.
Yeah.
But Mike,
hell yeah.
Oh,
yes,
hell yeah.
exactly.
Oh, hell yeah. Edge won the Royal Rumble 2021. And I have to say this, and I know you guys are going to make fun of me, but I was really hoping and praying that somehow, some way, that Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, would surprise everybody.
I know you would.
Show
I know
up to
you
Royal
would.
Rumble, win Royal Rumble, challenge his cousin Roman Reigns, and I would see it at WrestleMania this year. So Edge's win, although I was happy for Edge, especially all the things he's gone through, it was kind of bittersweet for me, I got to say.
What do you think, Mike?
Look, if it wasn't going to be Daniel Bryan, I think Edge was the right choice, just because given the story and the promo that he had on Monday, like I think instilled a lot of belief that he was going to win it. On the Raw before, where they just randomly announced, hey, Edge is going to have a promo. I was like, okay, he's going to announce he's going to be in the Rumble, but he's so good on the mic. And then he was talking about like how different this was than the surprise appearance he made last year, which was honestly one of the best Rumble moments ever. I was on your guys' show like right after, and I still can't believe he's wrestling. And then they announce on backstage that they announced he was going to be number 2. Then he ended up being number 1. I was like, there's no way. There's no way that they're gonna make him run the gauntlet. They haven't done a spot like that in the Royal Rumble. There's always a marathon guy. In every Rumble match, like we've seen over the years, there's always a guy who starts in like the first 2 or 3. Bianca Belair also did it on the women's side too. So you always see guys run the gauntlet, but they never finish it. The last guy to do it was Rey Mysterio in 2006, and he was number 2. Edge hasn't wrestled in 7 months. He is 47 years old, and this is his 4th or 5th match since he came back last year. Like, holy crap, what a performance. Like, that's something that nobody's even talking about. He won, but to do that for almost an hour, cold for 7 months, coming off a triceps injury at 47 is an unbelievable accomplishment. We need to be celebrating that.
And if someone would have told me, like, if I hadn't watched Royal Rumble and someone gave me the spoilers and said Edge won, I would have been like, okay, did he come out at number 28? You know, I mean, if I didn't know the storyline, but
he's number 30.
Yeah, once I heard that he and Orton were going to be number 1 and 2, I'm like, okay, there's no way in hell they're going to win.
What's funny is, Dan, me and you have been doing this show for a long time now. Not like crazy. Obviously, we're not the Blitz. Calm down. I'm not saying that. But we've been doing this for like, 2 years now or so? And I think
so.
Back in late 2019 or so, I remember telling you, and I said, Dan, the dirt sheets are reporting that Edge is coming back. And you said, there's no way in hell, there's not a chance. Yeah. And then now looking back, if I said not only is he going to return, but the following year he's going to win the Royal Rumble and he's going to headline WrestleMania, Dan Cialana would have bet the house that there was no chance in hell.
I was wrong. I'm so glad we don't have that recording. It's been burned. It's been it's stored away, actually, I think, in ESPN.
I have it saved.
Never
it's
to
here.
Return. But this was the
go through the archives.
At the end of 2019, we were making predictions for 2020, and Brandon brought up this crazy rumor from the dirt sheets that Edge has been working out at the PC at the Performance Center, and he may be coming back for Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. And I literally said, no, if that's not true. If you believe that, you're stupid, because I said if Edge returns to the ring, he'll die. I said the words.
Words. Yes.
I was so glad to be wrong.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, obviously, let's not pray for anything crazy like that.
Yeah,
but I do think
I don't want to be right.
I will say though, but I will
today?
say, Mike, I agree with you. So I'm a betting man, right? Me, Pledger, and our other buddy, the other Mike of ESPN San Antonio. We're all betting guys, and I know for me, Daniel Bryan was the favorite of Vegas.
Yeah,
right? It was like plus 500. So you bet $100, you get 500, whatever. Okay, so when Edge entered a number 1, I was gonna put the mortgage on Daniel Bryan. I was like, there's not a chance. There's not a chance that Edge is taking this, and there we are.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so when the backstage news came out, it was like, yeah, there's no way that they're going to have Edge run the gambit. And then the bigger surprise for me in the men's match is how early Daniel Bryan went out. I thought he was going to be in the Final 4. I know Seth Rollins, and that creates a whole different storyline going forward. And I'm all for that being a WrestleMania match, potentially, if that's the way they want to go. But Daniel Bryan not even making it to the Final 4 was just, it was a big surprise for me, because I honestly thought, given the way he led into I know he had lost a bunch of matches, but he had a great promo on the Go Home show for Friday Night SmackDown that led you to believe, hey, he's trying to sell the fact that maybe this is going to be it for him. and he hadn't been in a Rumble match in a long time because he's been in title matches or on secondary matches on the show. So you felt that if it wasn't going to be this year, when is it going to happen? So him going out early was a big surprise for me. But yeah, if it wasn't going to, as I said from the beginning, if it wasn't going to be Daniel Bryan, it felt like just the way that they had been going into the Royal Rumble, that Edge seemed like a logical choice given just the career journey, and they want to hammer home the redemption story for him.
And I believe, I think one reason they put him in number one, WWE put him in number one for Royal Rumble and had him stay the entire time, is I think WWE really wanted to show both the audience and also the backstage locker room, say, hey, Edge is not just some veteran who's going to come in here, work for 5 minutes, and then headline WrestleMania. Because there's probably a legitimate, I wouldn't say heat, but there's probably a little bit of jealousy in the background saying, why is this old veteran coming in and taking my spot that could have been for me for WrestleMania? So I think WWE legitimately on purpose wanted to show everybody, hey, Edge can still go, and Edge still has to work for it. He's going to be in the Royal Rumble for, over an hour or whatever. He's going to be there the entire time to show that Edge is still going to pay his dues. He's not being handed anything at WrestleMania. So I was really glad that they did that, and they didn't just have Edge come out at number 28 or something and win the Royal Rumble 10 minutes later. I think that was a good decision by WWE. Every now and then, Vince McMahon and WWE make a good decision. We'll put this in the win category.
Yeah, fair enough. And I do want to say, guys, before we get out of here, I know we only have a couple more minutes here before the break, but we saw some great surprises. I was very surprised to see, Christian in there, but holy hell, Carlito, those apples are doing a wonder.
Oh my God,
man, I gotta get some of that baby oil and protein.
I don't know what's in those apples, but yeah, Carlito. I mean, there was rumors about him showing up. I marked out for Christian.
Same.
I could not believe that. Like, if that was in a stadium or if that was at a baseball stadium like last year, it would have been on par with the pop that. And just everything about that moment just ruled, because you had Corey Graves was marking out at ringside with a hell yeah. And then you got Riddle in the ring looking shocked. Bobby Lashley's like telling him to bring it. Like, Christian hasn't been in the ring in 7 years. Like, everything about that was an awesome return. And I wish it had a moment like where the fans could just go crazy.
Now, someone who always brings it, Mike Mayer from Off the Mic Podcast. How do we find you online, Mike?
You can follow me at Off the Mic 28.
I'll do that. We will follow you everywhere you go, Mike.
America's Diamond offers our 5-year, 60-month financing program every day of the year. You don't have to wait for a sale to get 5-year financing with credit approval, or wait for a sale to get our guaranteed America's Diamond price, because we treat everyone fairly and with respect every day of the year. For almost 40 years, we have designed and created our extraordinary diamond jewelry right here in San Antonio. When you buy at America's Diamond, your money stays in San Antonio. Our whole company is located here and locally owned. Our kids and grandkids go to school here. All 40 of our coworkers live and shop in San Antonio for everything. Through the years, America's Diamond has supported thousands of wonderful charity events in San Antonio. We're the official jeweler of the San Antonio Spurs and of the University of Texas at San Antonio Athletics. See our television program about diamonds and jewelry tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or see it right now at americasdiamond.com.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drive-bys is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Order! Continue, Miss Garner.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
I object to your objection. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase.
Order! Please read Counselor's last statement.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn
earn unlimited double miles on every purchase.
I'll allow it. No further questions, Your Honor. Well, just one. What's in your wallet?
Capital One Bank USA N.A.
Howdy, Mr. Wildfire. What can I get you today?
Well, I'll have a toasted woodshake shingle sandwich, the backyard dry brush salad, and an old gazebo sundae sprinkled with precious photos and family heirlooms.
Anything to drink, sweet pea?
Yeah, carelessly stored paint thinner.
Knowing what Wildfire likes to eat is half the battle. Visit firewise.org to find out how you can help make your home more defensible against wildfires. Firewise.org, a public service brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Daddy, why is the sky blue?
To match your pretty eyes.
Nope. See, all colors have wavelengths that are diffused by oxygen and nitrogen. Since blue has the shortest wavelength, it's diffused up to 10 times more.
Who taught you that?
Mommy?
By 6th grade, too many girls lose interest in math and science, which they'll need for most future jobs. Keep her interest alive. For ideas, go to girlsgotech.org. It's her future. Do the math. A public service message brought to you by Girl Scouts of the USA and the Ad Council.
What is Moxley doing here? This match is over, but the fight isn't over. John Moxley, let's get some security out here. What do we have here? Oh! Moxley blindsided. Whoa! Oh my God! That's Kenta!
Yes, it is.
Kenta! What the hell is he doing here? Kenta! Oh, they go to sleep on Moxley! Kenta's the man with the briefcase. He's the man with the rights to challenge John Moxley for his IWGP US Heavyweight Championship.
And he comes out here and he makes his point on AEW Dynamite.
Is that loud? Can you just go to any company?
I think so.
AEW Dynamite. I can't just go to another radio station.
How excited were you? It was like, oh my God, Hideo Itami is on AEW. Like,
it was
wow.
exciting. Very exciting. I'm Dan Cialana, and I'm always excited to be talking to my tag team partner, Brandon Big Poppy Medina here, and also Mike Mayer from Off the Mic podcast, who I almost accidentally kicked off the show a few minutes ago because I can't read my own damn notes.
All good.
I would have felt so bad. I would have felt so badly. I'm like,
it would have been like the.
I was doing
like the Alexa Bliss.
I was doing like the goodbye, and I'm like, wait a minute. He hasn't.
I'm making my transformation, and you guys just wanted to kick me out before I had the chance to like just run rampant over the show.
Sorry.
Exactly. It was like the Alexa Bliss elimination. Yeah, it was like you didn't make it. We thought you were gonna make it. Now you're here. It is what it is. It's all good.
But last night, guys, after I'd say maybe a lackluster, we'll say a B-. I think Mike, you and I on the live stream last night in ESPN San Antonio, I think both of us gave AEW Beach Blast a B-. Wasn't a bad show. It was not bad. Good ending. Nothing, fun. Not a waste of time. As Iconics would say, good.
Do you think the ending was good for the general public or only for diehard wrestling fans?
Well, Mike, I want to get your idea on this, Mike. My idea on this thing is that having someone from New Japan show up on AEW makes the internet fans mark out. But I think which is cool, because we're internet fans and we mark out. However, this is a TV show on the TNT network, and I think that's one difficulty of that AEW struggles with in terms of, it seems like sometimes they market too much toward the internet smarks. And they need to remember, we're doing a TV show here for the general public. Is someone going to be excited, flipping through the channels, watching wrestling? Are they going to have any idea who this guy is? And I think that's one area where AEW really struggles in terms of like the boys in the back are running the show, but I think sometimes it's a little bit too inside baseball. What do you think, Mike?
That's a really good assessment, actually. I think you're spot on in the fact that, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, because I think AEW kind of embraces who they are in the fact that they're wrestling for the fans. And that's always been what their selling point is. They wanted to be an alternative to the premier company in WWE. But at the same time, you're trying to link in people and trying to hook people in, and at the same time building new stars. That's a great surprise at the end, getting Kenta and New Japan to have that hook in and have something really good. But what are you really appealing to? Are you trying to reel in new viewers? But really, it's for guys like us who love wrestling and follow it. That's a huge deal to get Kenta to come over. But it's just like, it's not it's not something that's like going to say, okay, keep somebody locked in to tune in what's going to happen next week, because there was some internet stuff. I think they're going to book a tag team match with Kenta next week. Like if this were like somebody like a mainstream star, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head if they could pull somebody away from WWE that was like, if that was Cesaro, maybe that generates more of a buzz. And I'm not trying to say anything that bad about Kenta. He's a huge star.
Is it Kenta or Kanta? Because I want to pronounce it correctly.
I think it's Kenta.
With him.
It's Kenta, but it's also Hideo Itami.
Else, you know,
it's
Hideo.
Kunta,
By the way, Hideo Itami,
there.
one of the biggest failed projects from. That was such, and a lot of it was injuries.
I don't fail anything, pal. They failed me
because he was. I said this
fail. Vince McMahon.
But I said this to Dan on the live stream, Brandon, last night, and what I was saying was when he came in before Finn Balor, and he was supposed to be what Finn Balor was.
Yeah.
And to see where he is now on a different television show, it's kind of crazy what's happened. And like Finn Balor came to the company, 2015? It's crazy what's happened in like the last 6-7 years.
Definitely exciting to see guys from Japan show up at AEW, see guys from AEW show up on Impact and vice versa. Everywhere besides WWE, every company besides WWE seems to be able to like cooperate and realize that a rising tide lifts all boats. Maybe WWE someday will finally figure that out and stop doing this whole like we're going to crush the competition. But Brandon, did you get a chance last night to watch AEW Beach Break? And if you did, what'd you think of it?
I did, and I actually really enjoyed it. Obviously, I know we have our little drive-through baby shower coming up this weekend, so I wasn't able to jump on the live stream, but I did enjoy.
We'll tweet the address after the show.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. Tweet the phone number, the address, everything like that. Yeah. But I do think I think it was great. I think it was a fun time. I think the last match, Kenny Omega, them do some incredible stuff. I will say Rey Fenix is a star. The Lucha Brothers are the star, and nobody ever gives them any credit. But I've been following them for years. They're literally my favorite tag team on the planet. So I love to see more of them. But also, guys, did you see the social media stuff with Kenta and Kenny Omega after, where Kenta told him to shut the F up? That was incredible. That should have made TV. That was the best thing of yesterday's show.
Can I just say something here, just real quick? That this is something that bugs me that these wrestlers do. They do a lot of social media stuff, and it causes buzz. It causes legitimate social media buzz among, the internet smarks. But if it doesn't get on TV, it's not entertaining. I don't give a crap if so-and-so wrestler is cutting good promos on Twitter. It's fun, but I'm not going to go look at Twitter. I want to see it on my TV. I watch wrestling. I don't want to be a Twitter reader. Why can't they just do it on TV? Why can't you just say F you on TV? That would have been a lot better. Am I just old school here?
No. Even with the bleeping of it, I think it would really draw some ears, draw some attention, draw some eyeballs, and put butts in the seats of their homes to watch AEW for the following weeks, because that's hilarious, and you don't see that ever on WWE, hardly ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the social media aspect of it. Like, I get it that a lot of people are on social media, but yeah, that I'm with you guys. That absolutely should have made television, because in the process of that promo, like on the tail end of it, Kenny Omega pitches to Tony Khan to book a tag match. That's a huge match. I forgot. I think it would be Kenta and Kenny versus Moxley and I think
Lance Archer.
Lance Archer. So, and that's a huge tag match. So like getting that on television, like we go for these shock endings and say, oh, why is he here? And this like to get you to tune in next week. It would have been nice to kind of follow that up a little bit and basically be like, okay, yeah, Kenta's here. Is he friends with Kenny Omega? And then you see, no, they're kind of like polar opposites, and they don't want anything to do with each other. So I felt that was kind of a missed opportunity, like you guys said.
Now, Brandon, I'll ask you something that I asked Mike on our ESPN San Antonio Facebook Live last night. What was the best match of Beach Break last night, and why was it Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker?
Listen, Thunder Rosa is a friend of the show. Dan Cialana
very carefully here.
has a love and respect for Thunder Rosa, and obviously she is doing incredible things. They're gonna have the women's tournament that's gonna be insane. If you know anything about Japanese wrestling or anything of the sorts, I mean, they have some incredible talent there. I do think that match was awesome, but as a fan of Rey Fénix and as a fan of Kenny Omega, that main event was what I tuned in for. And I don't think it disappointed, especially with the ending. I just really, truly believe, one, they missed an opportunity with Kenta and Kenny backstage, but they also truly, I think, are missing opportunities left and right when it comes to the mainstream viewers. This is a wrestling fans show, and that's awesome, but that's not going to last, and it's not going to continue to beat ratings when people start tuning out.
You got to bring new people.
Yes.
And I actually heard, I think it was Jay Washington on our friend John Roca's podcast saying that, when he talks to his friends that work for WWE, they say that about 5% of what goes on in WWE in terms of backstage storytelling is because of internet buzz. Other than that, basically 95% of what happens on WWE TV is what the people backstage, the writers and Vince McMahon wanted to happen. So this idea that these internet fans, oh, you're on Reddit, so I'm going to talk trash about WWE, and Vince McMahon's going to read this, and he's going to get his feelings hurt, and they're going to push people that we want to push. It didn't work. It doesn't work. For years and years, wrestling internet snobs talked about how they hated Roman Reigns. Oh, nobody likes Roman Reigns. We're going to boo him. When we go to the arena, we're going to boo him just to make Vince McMahon angry. Look at Roman Reigns now. Vince McMahon believed in Roman and said, you know what, I'm going to do what I'm going to do because I'm a businessman. I'm a billionaire. These idiots on Twitter who have all these opinions about wrestling, including us, are not billionaires, are not self-made billionaires, pal, with balls the size of grapefruits. No, Vince McMahon is. So he's going to do what Vince McMahon is going to do.
I will say the one thing I don't want to see ever on my television again is Rusev or Miro in a wedding ever again. I'm over it.
Hey, that was fun.
It's played out. It's bad.
Dumb.
I don't like him. I don't want him on my television, and I'm done with this from like a year ago when Dan was all over this marriage storyline.
Okay, so let me just say this. I did like that Rusev acknowledged his past and actually brought light to the fact that he has had a couple of these that didn't work out. They had the renewal of vows with Lana back when he was feuding with Roman, and then we had the segment. Like, look, me and Dan, I didn't necessarily like I just was. It's one of those stupid segments in pro wrestling where it's just like you can't help but keep your eyes on it. It's so bad that it's so bad that it's just like it's like just one of those like goofy things. Was this perfect? Of course it wasn't. It's a pro wrestling wedding, and like some of the execution and how it turned out, like we all knew how it was going to end.
It was supposed to be a train wreck.
Yeah, and it's just like Orange Cassidy being there. It was fun. I mean, it was fun. Like it was
crappy
weddings.
It wasn't
anything
that
to write home
ruined.
about.
It's a wrestling trope. It's a wrestling stereotype, but we love it, and I hope to become your new wrestling trope. A new wrestling stereotype. Our show is Down for the Count. My tag team partner, Brandon Big Papi Medina, and I, Dan Cialana, are here every Thursday night talking wrestling with you. Mike Mayer, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Sorry, I almost kicked you off the show earlier.
Hey, you can never get rid of me.
That's what I'm talking about. The click.
He never goes away. We love having you. We loved having Denise Salcedo on the show. We love having James Pledger producing us, showing us fingers and other body parts as he feels fit.
That's
so
right.
And that's join us next week. Oh, yeah.
That's the bottom line. Because Down for the Count
said so.
Follow Down for the Count on Twitter @DFTC Podcast.